So today we're going to talk about Magbanua's Proffer, what we think this means, what she's got to offer, who's representing her, where do we think she's going with this, not forgetting Garcia, Charlie, Donna, Harvey and Wendi. My name's Dawn and this is Lounge Bar Crime. Quick disclaimer, everything you hear in this video is from my own research, it's my opinion and it's for entertainment purposes only. That out of the way, let's get to it. So, first of all, I got like loads of messages from subscribers asking me if I was doing anything on Magbanua's Proffer. And to be honest with you, when it all hit, I wasn't even here. I'd gone to a 25-year anniversary, fancy dress anniversary in Spain, in Benidorm. Worst thing I could have done. It was like 4 or 5 nights I think I went for, which was, it was just absolutely mad. And there was me, I was having my photograph taken with anybody to do with crime, LAPD, fancy dress, the SWAT team, the real Spanish police. There was even a Jeffrey Dahmer there. I know, how bad taste is that? Now, the day that I went was when it was Darrell Brooks' sentencing. So, you know, all I thought I had to do was catch up on that. Well, that's what I was thinking of, because I've been following that case. I've not been covering it, but I've been following it. So I was trying to, like, you know, see what was going on with that. But I just thought, I'll see if I can watch it tomorrow by the pool or something like that. You'll have to excuse me because I know I sound terrible. That's what happens when you're my age and you go on a bender for 4 days. Last time, I'm never doing it again. So the second day I was there was when there was the fancy dress. So we was out during the day. And then I just happened to look at my phone and I could see all this with Magbanua, breaking news everywhere. She was going to Tallahassee. Of course, I saw these mugshots. And so today's the 28th. So she could be on her way there now. Between the 28th and the 30th, she's being transported. Or before, she could already be there. Although I think if she was already there, I'm sure somebody would have seen it. But so there's me in this fancy dress, and all I want to do really is go back to the hotel and start reading up on all this. So I had to put it to one side, obviously. And then I came back, couldn't wait to get onto it, and I was just ill. It's all self-inflicted. I'm not looking for sympathy. But if you see me drinking, it's not wine, it's honey and lemon. So what do I think about all this? Well, obviously, that mugshot of Magbanua knocked us all off our feet. Yeah, she does look like she's, you know, got the get out of jail card. More importantly about that mugshot, it's not what we think. I think it just depicts what she thinks. You can see the look on her face, what she thinks. But as you know, in my in that video, the video something about Wendi that I did, which is it's about a month ago now. I did that video, and yeah, those mugshots or somebody's stress and what's on somebody's face tells you everything about what's going on in life. And you know, as I shown with Wendi, just over a few years really, the difference in her. Take a look. She will just look the same. You see, she doesn't understand that a guilty conscience does not age very well. So yeah, she does look like, Magbanua does look like she's got the golden ticket. She hasn't, but we know Magbanua. We all do. We've seen her on the stand, and we know how she acts. And I'm gonna get in a moment just to how I think she's gonna behave with this. But yeah, she does look like she's got the golden ticket. She looks like she's had a makeover, and this, like I said before, this is what stress does to people. And when it's relieved, when you're relieved of stress and you think everything's going your way, which is possibly what she thinks. Now, we do know that it was Georgia Cappleman that requested Magbanua. From what I've researched anyway, it wasn't that Katie was offering anything out there. She was requested. She's jumped up. But you know what I think she's going to do, or what I think she thinks she's going to do? I think, yeah, here's a biscuit. In her head, I think she thinks she's going to go like this. There's a crumb. How many years do I get off for that? That's how I think what's going on in her head. It's not. Georgia Cappleman already knows that this is what she's going to be like, and Georgia Cappleman's not going to settle for anything like that. She's already got her table set out of what she wants from Magbanua, what she expects. Don't forget, she's worked on this for years. She's got enough for Charlie. We know that. But she's got to clinch the others. So, it must be so frustrating for Georgia Cappleman having to do this. But then we've got to get justice for Dan. Sorry, Georgia Cappleman has got to get justice for Dan. Well, we have as well. We've got to keep spreading this word. We can help. So this is what Georgia Cappleman has to do, really. But I'm making no mistake in thinking that Georgia Cappleman is going to give Katherine Magbanua everything she wants, because I don't think for a minute that she is. I think she's going to tell her expectations, what's expected, and I don't think she's going to settle for anything less. I think Magbanua, I think she's jumping for joy. I think she probably may even think that they need her, not more than she needs them. But you get what I'm saying, that she's needed. She's not actually needed as much as she thinks she is. I think it's just going to make it a lot swifter. Maybe clinch it for some of the others if she comes up with the goods. That's the point. It's whether she does or not. Now we know that Tara Kawas won't be going with Magbanua. She's not representing her anymore. DeCoste is going to be going with that. In a way, I'm glad, I thought that whole thing about, Katie not being involved and trying to defend this case, that it was Charlie going direct with Garcia. I mean, it was a bit of a joke. And last night, it's weird because I was watching another video on Magbanua. We do, don't we? We just keep watching different things on this all the time. And I was watching this video with Magbanua saying that, first of all, just let me say this. Just let me roll back a little bit. I think that Katherine Magbanua, thinks that all she's got to do is like duck and dive the questions on the stand. That's what I think she's been doing. She's watched Wendi. Not forgetting, Wendi was a witness. She's not being, convicted of anything, or she's not in the same position as Magbanua. And I feel as though she's sort of like looking at Wendi and thinking, yeah, that's all, I'll do that. As I've said that before, I'll do that. I'll just keep ducking and diving. And so long as they can't clinch me on any of these questions, as long as I keep saying, well, I don't know, well, oh, what, and keep being evasive, then they can't pin anything on her. And I don't know where she's got that from. And I don't know why her defence didn't say to her, look, it's looking shifty, this. You've got to answer these questions. You're not answering anything. You're just saying you don't know about anything. You can't remember. And she couldn't do that. Obviously, it didn't work for her. But this video really made me laugh because they're asking her if she felt whether Charlie was involved. And she was saying, well, I didn't, But like more or less looking at the evidence, well, like now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking, well, yeah, you know, half the evidence involved her. You know, it was so far-fetched, her defence. It was untrue, in a nutshell. But just look at this.
In jail, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were privy to several news reports on this case, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You were aware that the government's position was that you saw a news report where they said that you hold the key to your own freedom. Remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What did that mean to you?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
That it's up to me to get out of jail.
Okay. And how would you do that?
If I gave up Charlie.
Do you have information that Charlie Adelson was involved in this?
Do I have information? I mean, based on everything that we've been seeing, but I don't have personal information.
Based on everything you've seen, do you think Charlie was involved in this?
Yes.
Do you think Charlie was lying to you?
Yes.
So yeah, so she's in a completely different position now. That was her talking her BS on the stand. As I said, ducking and diving, thinking she can get away with it. And she knew that she had that offer for a plea deal to do some kind of bargaining, and she didn't want it because of ka-ching. Talking about Charlie as well, obviously his management hearing is, I think it's Friday, 2nd of December, and now he's asking now for that to be put back because, well, not him, Rashbaum, he needs that putting back because he's fractured his foot. Or should I say it like this? That's convenient because now he'll have more time to look over everything possibly that's been said in this proffer and what he's going to be up against. Now, we've also got this, the one thing that I kept thinking with regards to this with Magbanua is the hearsay rule. How are they going to do this? Because it's going to be her word. Obviously, she's a liar. Quite a blatant liar. So, we know that in this case now, they're going to use, well, you would say this now. You're saying this because you're getting a deal. You're doing this because, and it's all hearsay. So obviously she's got to, whatever she's going to give Georgia Cappleman, she's got to make it count, and she's got to, it's got to add up. It's got to come together. It can't just be. It's going to have to marry up with evidence, and I don't know whether they can get into WhatsApp, or she can get into a WhatsApp, because I believe she couldn't get into a WhatsApp. She's going to have to produce the goods in order for this to all work. Georgia Cappleman's got this all worked out. We're not telling her how to do her job. She knows that she's going to have to make Katherine Magbanua absolutely spill to the bottom, and not just say, oh yeah, here's a little crumb about Charlie. So will that get me 10 years off? That's not gonna work. She's got to give it all up. She's gonna have to do, because Georgia Cappleman doesn't need that. And I hope that if she does start that Georgia Cappleman would say to her, no, real, we've got all that already. We don't need it. So we might as well just send you back. Let's see a mugshot then on her way back, if she did. But yeah, no. Georgia Cappleman, she's got all this worked out ready, because she knows Magbanua's personality, and she knows that she's a player. She's going to try and play it. I mean, that's what she does. She played Garcia and Charlie, didn't she? I mean, it's just what she does. Whatever's working for her. And, yeah. And, I hope also that it doesn't get too much of her sentence. She's not going to give too much up, is she, for a couple of years? She's going to it is going to be a plea deal. So it is going to have to show that, you know, she's giving a lot to get anything worth having in return. Just going back again to that hearsay as well, I believe that anything that's said in the proffer, if it's under Florida law, apparently it could possibly be released to the public, especially as well if Rashbaum requests it, then it'll go into the open records. It is, as I understand it, mental lawyer will be able to, James would be able to explain this one better to you, but it does look like we will see that, especially if I believe Charlie's Rashbaum, Charlie's lawyer attorney, if he requests it, then everything goes into the records, and then we will it becomes public record. And Florida law are pretty big on that. So I mean, I'm from the UK, so you know, I'm diving in here and trying to explain what I believe it to be. But I haven't got, I'll be honest with you, I have not got a full handle on that. That is the way I'm reading it. So, yeah, let's hope that, you know, all this is sort of saturated everywhere by the time it comes to the rest of the Adelsons, because, yeah, there's going to be so much. I believe there's going to be so much, so long as Magbanua plays the game right and stops thinking about ka-ching. Because you know what? I would not even put it past her to think, right, I'll drop Charlie in it, but because haven't they said that there's money has been put aside for her children, and that's possibly come from the Adelsons. We're not 100% on that. This is all hearsay, but this is what we're kind of hearing. If that may have been possible, and that's why she kept quiet. Stupid reason. Get yourself out of Nick, love, and go and work your backside off, you know, and let him have a mother around him. You know, the father, you've sorted that one out, but you know, that's the way. But that's where she is. So I'm not 100% on that one, to be honest with you. You know, just trying to work out Magbanua as well. I was watching her again on another video last night as well, when Garcia got convicted, and she was breaking her heart, and I thought, are you breaking your heart because you've just seen a taste of what you're going to be getting, or are you breaking your heart because it's the father of your children and you feel guilty? He kept looking at her, and she did look at him, but when you see it, they weren't actually looking at each other at the same time. So I don't know if either one of them knew that, you know, he was looking at her and she was looking at him. I don't know. But she was like so emotional. Yeah, have a look.
State of Florida versus Sigfredo Garcia. We, the jury, find as follows as to count one: the defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. We, the jury, find as follows as to count two: the defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. We, the jury, find as follows as to count three: the defendant is not guilty. So say we all, this 11th day of October 2019. Mr. Russmeisel, did I accurately reflect the verdict of the jury?
Yes, you did, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Garcia can be excused. There's no reason to have him here.
Excuse us? Yes, some more.
take a minute as well to DeCoste representing her at this proffer. Surely he's got enough about him to tell her, don't mess about here, give him everything you've got. You can't be guilty and innocent at the same time. You're going to have to hold your hands up. You're going to have to go one way or another. I don't think that'd be a problem for her, actually, because I think she's quite hard-faced, you know. But I hope he gives her the proper advice. That's what he's there for. And I did say, I am glad that it's DeCoste going with her, because I liked the way that DeCoste went after Wendi, and I think he's really, really wanting them Adelsons a lot more than I felt Kawaz did. So I think, I think he's going to want her to put everything on the table, and I'm hoping that he will give her the advice to say, everything that you've got on Wendi, no matter what you can dig up, get it out there. So I'm glad it's him. I think it was just too complicated with them all anyway. And like I said, I think the defence was so weak, and I thought it was like pretty pathetic, really. So that out the way now, that stupid defence. I'm hoping that DeCoste, and only because, like I said, because of the way that he wanted to go after Wendi, he's going to have his heart and soul in this and tell her, just spill it all on all of them. You know, I do go on a lot about this. I do go on about this quite a bit with how Wendi looked after a couple of years, and now Magbanua, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how Donna looks. Yeah, I'd love to see her. As bad as that sounds, I'd love to see her. Harvey, I'm not bothered about. I think he's got all the kitchen, like I've said. So without that, I don't think this. Every one of them are responsible for how this got off the ground. Every one of them. Harvey with the kitchen. Magbanua, the greed. Charlie trying to be the big I am. Wendi, the greed. The victim when she's the villain. But yeah, I would love to see Donna. See what she looks like now. And I just cannot imagine what is going on in her house now with them. You know, I just couldn't imagine the conversations that they're having or what they've got planned. It doesn't matter. They're not going to outsmart. They're not going to outsmart now. Not with Magbanua giving her side. And to be honest, I think Georgia Cappleman would have got them all anyway. I think it would have just been time. There was a risk. There was a risk with Wendi. But I'm hoping that Magbanua doesn't, for any reason, think, well, I'll give him them all but Wendi because of the kids. Because if she does, that means she thinks more of Wendy's kids than she has her own. But yeah, I would love to see Donna, definitely, now, sat there eating her lobsters. Oh my God. You know, James, mentor lawyer, he did ask Ruth Markel what was the worst thing about this case. And she said it's the uncertainty and not knowing. You know, for us on YouTube and people that have got an interest in this case and want justice for Dan, feel like that. You know, I know for a fact we all dive online every day and look to see if there's any update. Could you imagine being Ruth or Phil or his sister Shelley? Could you imagine? Because I have the uncertainty and not knowing. I have that feeling, and he's not related to me. So she must have that a millionfold to what we've got, and all the years that she's been on this case. I mean, she really does remind me of Cheryl Williams, you know, Mike Williams's mum, and apparently they've had a conversation as well. And those children are all in the same place. Let's just hope that Dan's children don't end up with the same beliefs as Cheryl Williams's daughter, well, Mike Williams's daughter. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off track a little bit here, but I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine what Ruth and Phil are going through, and you know, have to go to court and to have to look at Wendi. I mean, the control that they've had to muster up, better than I am. I don't think I could do it. I really don't. Hopefully, touch wood, that I'll never have to, but I can't. I just couldn't imagine. But you know, they're doing everything the right way. They really are. If you're still watching this video, you know what I'm going to say. It must mean that you're enjoying it, just a tidgy bit. And if you are, hit the tidgy like button. A quick correction as well, while I just think about it. In my previous video, which I did about Jeffrey Lacasse, I did say in that video that Wendi didn't join him and Charlie in the hot tub. I didn't mean at all. What I meant was, at one particular stage where Jeffrey was talking about certain things that Dan was talking about. I don't mean about what he was like with women and how he treated women or anything like that. But there was one part that Jeffrey Lacasse, I am sure, had said that at that stage Wendi had like left him to it. So I just thought I'd put that in because a few people had pulled me on that, as though I was of the understanding that Wendi didn't go in the hot tub. I know that she did, but anyway, that I'll just put that in there just as a quick correction. Now, I believe this Proffer, that Magbanua, she's only going to be there a few days, and then she's going to be returned back. And as I've said, I do hope that this is going to be worth it. Not just for. I think we've got Charlie in the bag. I think we've got Donna in the bag. Harvey, that tape with Charlie and Harvey, that's what I meant to tell you. I'll see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll throw it on here. On one of the tapes, you know, like when we're watching these videos and when we're watching Wendi in an interview, and we all pick up all the time on what she's not said. You know, why ain't she asking, the kids weren't there, were they? Are the kids okay? We all pick up on that it's odd that she's not said this, and it's odd that she's not saying that. And there is a part where Judge Wheeler just say, when you're listening to these tapes, you also need to listen to what's not being said. Words to that effect, anyway. If I can find it, I'll put it in, and because that's massive evidence, isn't it? And at one stage, I did think to myself, I wonder if they would take that into account, whether, you know, it's not just what's said, it's what's not said, and apparently it is. So that's a good thing to me. I feel it's quite obvious who's behind all this, but I just like you all, I just want that this Proffer, that basically Katherine Magbanua does not piss about and try to and just offer Georgia crumbs just to get like so many years off or whatever. I hope she gives her the whole lot, and I hope that Georgia Cappleman doesn't settle for anything less. And I just love at one stage to hear her give her peanuts, and for Georgia Cappleman to say it's no good to us because we've already got all that. So hopefully we're going to hear something soon. I don't think it's not going to be in the next few days, even though she's there. I hope it is. If it is, it's brilliant, but I've got a feeling it won't be. And obviously now Charlie's case management hearing, that's being put back as well because Rashbaum's got a fractured ankle. Yeah, okay. So I think it's all going to go quiet for, I don't know, maybe a week or something. Like I said, if anything comes up, we'll, you know, some us YouTubers will be bringing you something to let you know. So yeah, so that's all I've got really. Yeah, if you've not seen the video that I did on something about Wendi, her games of cat and mouse, I'll link it below. Go and have a look at it, and I do feel that it really does show her to a T. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's all I've got for you for tonight. I do apologise, like I say, because I know I sound nasally. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we just want Phil and Ruth and Shelley to know that, you know, we're thinking about them, and we're all geeing them on, you know, to get the result. Let's just hope that for all the wrong that Magbanua has done, that she can at least put something right. We know she's only doing it for her own back. We know that. She's not doing it for any other reason, but we'll take that. If it gets the Adelsons, we'll take it. So, yeah. So, I'm going to say good night, stay safe, and come back.